बोलिए सतगुरुदेव महाराज जी की जय, सच्चे दरबार की जय. Today we present the weekly Satsang from Akhand Gyan from the monthly magazine of Divya Jyoti Jagrati Sansthan and is inspired by His Holiness Shri Ashutosh Maharaj ji. It's the Akhand Gyan from April 2011. The article name is Grooming the Modern Age Children. Grooming the modern age children. We need to groom our children with an attitude that losing a game is not the end of life, for the match is still alive and many more games are to be played. Put the best and leave the rest is an attitude one should try to cultivate in them. In this urban, fast-paced metro world, the mad rush of achieving affluence by all means is leading to cracks in our existence. The bizarre animal instinct of greed and rule of survival of the fittest is overtaking us. Though opinions differ whether this survival rule should be applicable for humans or not. No doubt, wealth gives more freedom and to some extent happiness too. Nothing wrong in endeavoring to achieve more. But at what cost is what needs introspection. All the wealth accomplished at the cost of compromised mental, emotional health defeats our search for that ever-eluding happiness. In spite of economic and scientific advancements, deteriorating mental and emotional health, not only in adults but now seen in children too, is concerning. The emotional crack in the adult population has already been evident, with many of them seeking psychiatric help from shrinks. Matrimonial disharmony, growing divorce rates, road rage, daily life verbal spats, undue aggressiveness in sports and other areas are just signs of increased emotional and mental tolerance. Increasing trend of nuclear family has left elderly people to fight against odds at their weakest hour in life, making them susceptible mentally and emotionally. Economic inequality, social conflict, caste disparities, regional non-secularism, and other maladaptive behaviors are leading many of us to take to the hanging nose. But growing suicide rates in children of secondary and senior secondary levels, with most of them still not exposed to several other complexities and stresses of daily life, is a worried trend. Cutthroat competition is affecting all ages, but nipping of the budding innocent lives is appalling. Exam time rings the alarm bells at several counseling organizations, with countless calls of despaired, panicky and nervous students. Fear, anxiety and depressive self-worthlessness of not being able to fare well are ruling their lives. Increasing numbers suggest intense parental and peer pressure. Helpless students, often lacking self-esteem, are surrendering to performance anxiety and quitting forever. A horrifying trend, but preventable. We, as adults, are largely responsible for such fragile emotional state of our children. Encouraging and motivating our children to do better academically is healthy, but doing it too intensely with a life-death attitude is bound to make them prone to severe mental anxiety and fear. Rearing our kids with a fighter attitude and preparing them for challenging competition with the desire and fire to win is not unhealthy. However, it needs caution by not letting it become an obsession to be achieved at all costs. Aggression in work study within ethical considerations and without trampling our fellow beings may be justified. But a warrior approach needs to be tagged with compassion for underprivileged around us, for our insensitive aggression, but very approach needs to be tagged with compassion for underprivileged around us. For our insensitive aggression may ignite self-destruction in those in vicinity. Importantly, we need to groom our children with an attitude that losing a game is not the end of life, for the match is still alive. Many more games are to be played. Inspiring them to put sustained and continuous efforts for winning is healthy and important. Quoting historical facts, personalities, and situations, convincing them that success is bound to happen with persevering endeavor may not be difficult. However, what is more important is that children should also be made aware about the life paradox, that for somebody to win, somebody has to lose, and the impermanence is inventable. Some win today and would lose tomorrow, and vice versa. Instilling confidence in them and supporting them even when they lose is what is needed. Inspiring them to put in their 100% is more important than what they achieve. Put the best and leave the rest is an attitude one should try cultivating in them. Taking defeat in healthy stride and helping them realize that every victory probably started somewhere from a defeat is what is needed. Further, happiness may still be elusive after all the compromises. Hence, a do or die attitude is unwarranted. First, we as adults need to understand that affluence is a relative phenomenon, and hankering for it would not breed fulfillment. And then we need to make our offspring aware about it too. Attaining happiness, which most of us often aim at through material affluence, is possibly just an abstract mind game. Thus, trying to achieve it through affluence is not a wise attitude. Somebody said, happiness is all in the mind, and rightly so. For all we need to achieve that winning happiness is to be emotionally unperturbed, irrespective of results. And if tranquility can be achieved without affluence and sustained even in material adversities, one emerge a winner even after losing all worldly affluence, though easier said than done and possibly somewhat difficult to achieve. The meditation of Brahma Gyan is an empowered weapon which makes all impossibility in this world a definite and achievable possibility. Hence, not only is it important that Brahma Gyan reaches every such child as well as their parents, but it is also extremely important that it reaches the retreating physicians, health providers, including the psychiatrist, physiologist. The healthcare community needs to be made aware of the potential of Brahma Gyan in dealing with mental emotional problems, and this can be done by making them understand and practically experience the technique. This will have magnifying healing implications on the society, for the healthcare givers can in turn advocate it to the patient seeking the help and bail them out. Unfortunately, the present-day medical science still doesn't understand the dynamic of the mind and has very limited to offer for the mental emotional problems. Not that we should undermine the counseling psychotherapy given by psychotherapists, but Brahma Gyan, though difficult to describe in words, is the master of all psychotherapies. And in terms of counseling, who can be a better counselor than a self-introspecting consciousness, empowered with the discretionary wisdom of our own enlightened and pure inner self? We all know that in case of any physical injury, the body knows how to heal and the injury heals on its own. The same holds true for emotional mental wounds too, as the inner consciousness knows how to heal, but the need of the hour is the activation of that healing energy, which only and only Brahma Gyan can do. Meanwhile, till the physician community wakes up and recognizes the potential therapeutic efficacy of Brahma Gyan, let's endeavor and ensure that Brahma Gyan reaches every modern age child as well as his parents. Because Brahma Gyan is the only and only weapon which can prevent the suicidal, self-destructive pattern of thoughts in this cutthroating competitive world. We need to help and ensure our children grow as courageous but compassionate warriors. For they are the future of our society and the lightning lamps of world peace. For that's the vision and the mission of our esteemed great master, His Holiness Shri Ashutosh Maharaj. With this, I'm ending the words. And to read more such articles, please subscribe to our monthly magazine Akhand Gyan, available in 3 languages, Hindi, English and Punjabi. You can subscribe to the magazine by clicking on the link mentioned in the description box. बोली सतगुरु महाराज जी की जय, साचे दरबार की जय।